I don't expect you guys to understand. And I know that from the outside looking in, I just look dumb. And I am. I'm so dumb. But I was okay with being dumb for him. I was okay with finally being vulnerable. I was okay with it if it meant that the person that knows me more than anybody in this world could still be mine. He broke no contact on Wednesday. I call him and I'm like, what was that? Why did you kiss that girl in front of me? He's like, you were dancing with the guy. No, I wasn't. The guy was dancing on me. Whatever. You're right. You're valid. Like, we are doing each other dirty. You're dancing. I mean, you're kissing a bitch in front of me. I'm dancing on a guy. Like, whatever. We're both wrong. I'll forgive it. I'll let that slide. Oh my god, that's so stupid. We link up on Thursday. He comes to my job. We're talking. He's like, let's go to the bar after this. We go to the bar. We have a good time. We go home. We have a great time, you guys. It's amazing. And then he wakes up the next day and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the beach with my friends and that girl. And I'm just like, and he's like, there's nothing going on. She wanted to kiss me to make you jealous and we're just friends. And I don't believe him. I want you to know that I don't believe him, but I am nobody to be telling him what he can and can't do at this point. We're not together. And I did things too. Not like sleep with anyone, but like, I'm not an angel. And I was doing whatever it took to get over him. I know. But for me to even consider going back to him after he chose to go to the beach on the 4th of July without me and just choose her, I'm so delusional. I'm so, like, what? Stand up, please. Oh my god. No. So whatever, I block him after the 4th of July because I realize, like, I'm so dumb. I'm alone on the 4th of July and he's with this girl. Like, stand up, you're so pathetic. What the I unblock him today and I was like, I need you to drop something off for me because I can't pick it up. And so he's like, okay. He comes, we have a conversation. The conversation was horrible. It was literally just him blaming me for things in the past, and I'm like, you're never gonna forgive me, and you're not gonna unblock, you're not gonna block all the girls you followed. You're not gonna block this girl because you're interested. I'm giving him like a list of reasons why it's not realistic that we're gonna get back together, so there's no point of us having this conversation, because I'm realizing this in the moment that it's just not gonna work out. And it was a lot of back and forth, and finally he just drove off, and that's it. I'm not gonna go back because I'm so dumb.
So I'm looking at these comments and y'all are going to continue to gloss over the fact that she said she wasn't innocent. It's all his fault. He's the one that's wrong. He's the reason for the crash out. And what she's doing, what she's talking about is valid. Nothing of this has to do with what she's got going on. What she did. Everything that he's doing is trash. But whenever she does something simple, oh, I didn't sleep with nobody, but I definitely did whatever it took. She just laid it out for you. She was out there doing stuff that she had no business doing. Why nobody holding her accountable, but they holding the man accountable? And then when the man calls you out for something that you were doing, oh, it wasn't my fault. He did it to me. Oh, okay. Once again, it's the guy's fault. He can control this situation, but you can't control yours.
I want to say something, and I know some of y'all might feel away, get mad at me. Men have always been the prize. Women, no, let me, hold on. Let me finish, because let me finish. Men have always been the prize. And I'm going to explain what I'm saying. Women marry who they can. Men marry who they want. You can get offended by the statement, but if you really sit down and you think about it and you be honest with yourself, that is a very valid statement. Also, not only that, but by him saying that he is the prize, that does not make her not a prize. I myself am raising a young man. Men have always been the prize. We have gotten to a point where we disrespect our men so much. I worry so much about what the world is going to look like when my son becomes of age to date and to court and to marry, because I will never let any of your daughters tell my son that he is not the prize. That will never be a thing. And if you have sons, nephews, whatever the godchildren, you should not ever tell your son, oh, she is a. Do you guys see what type of young girls are being raised?
Hear me out, especially women. We have taken pick-me culture way too far. I just got back from the Hamptons today, and I was surrounded by a lot of very, very successful men, and yes, the gender matters in the situation, and I have a thought to share. Breakfast with these two men this morning, I went around and we're just explaining our jobs and what we do, and the two men kind of right away just were very clearly stating what they achieved, how much money they made, who they knew, where they traveled to because of work, etc. Meanwhile, I'm just kind of silent, just observing, because it's interesting to me. And I love learning and hearing what people do. So after breakfast, I'm going on a walk, and another person was at their car, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go for a walk. Do you wanna join? He says yes, so we go on a walk together. Him and I are just meeting too. So I'm like, tell me about yourself. We talk career, we talk interests, we talk hobbies, etc. So we ended up getting lost on the walk. Supposed to be a 15-minute casual stroll, ended up turning into an hour long. Towards the end of our walk, he asked me, so he's like, so what do you do for fun? You know, we talked a lot about our careers and our dreams. What do you like to do for fun? And I was like, well, I love going out, travel a lot, draw. And I was like, and it's kind of random. And I said it in a little bit of like a nervous, hesitant way. Everyone's always kind of surprised when I say this, but I'm actually a licensed skydiver. So when I told him I'm a licensed skydiver, I was like, I know it's kind of like random and people are always surprised and it doesn't really like match my vibe. But yeah, that's like my favorite thing in the whole world. And he stops walking and he goes, it took you an hour to tell me that you're a licensed skydiver? He truly thought it was so cool. He was so fascinated by it. And he was like, tell me everything. What does it feel like? Can we go together one day? How did you get into it? Just so fascinated by what I had to say about skydiving. I think me being a licensed skydiver is one of the coolest things about me. The thing that makes me feel most powerful. It took a lot of hard work, and I feel very proud of what I've accomplished by being a licensed skydiver. And so then I questioned myself of, why do I feel the need to hold back about telling people this part of myself? For lack of a better word, why does it feel pick me when I tell people that I'm a licensed skydiver? When the two men this morning at breakfast were explaining their accomplishments, they were not shy. They were not hesitant when they explained their passions and say this is kind of random, but they said it with full confidence. I worked really hard to get my skydiving license. I worked 3 jobs in college so I could pay for this license. It took focus, courage, determination. It brings me the most joy in life. So why did I deliver it as a side note? So I have 2 closing thoughts on all of this. I think the whole pick-me culture for women has gone way too far. We've become so careful to not come off as attention-seeking that sometimes we actually end up shrinking ourselves down. Confidence isn't arrogance and pride isn't bragging. When the 2 men were explaining all of their accomplishments and the things that they're proud of, I didn't flinch or think it was weird. In fact, I actually leaned in and cared about what they had to say. Because when you talk about something with pride, passion, confidence, people are going to listen and they're going to care. You don't have to justify why something matters to you. You just have to own it. Confidence makes anything credible. Not how much money you earned, not who noticed it, but confidence is the credibility. The most magnetic thing you can be is to be fully lit up when you talk about the things that you know make you happy. When you speak from that place, it doesn't matter what it's about. People are going to feel your energy and they're going to listen to what you have to say. So the thing that you love doing isn't random. Women, it is not pick me or boastful or arrogant to talk about your accomplishments, especially if they're not tied to money or status. Stop shrinking yourself to make others feel comfortable. Okay, bye. Go chase your dreams.
Well, I think you might have mentioned it there. It's about being humble about what you're doing. A lot of these modern women are boss babes. They're strong, independent women. And they brag about, well, I don't need no man. I don't need this. I don't need you. Get out my face. And I've done this, and this. You can't handle that, can you? You should be so lucky that I be in your presence. You better take me out because I'm the only one on this level that you probably ever been with and will ever be with. You think a man wants to hear that? Now I don't care nothing about your accomplishments because I know your attitude is stank.
I'm your ideal woman.
Yes.
Why are you the way you are?
Because God made me that way.
What's the manliest thing about you?
I love women.
What kind of women do you like?
Any woman, most women.
Any woman.
Someone like you.
Someone like me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you single?
So far, so good.
So
I'm looking for somebody special in my life.
you are? What
Yes.
kind of person?
Well, like I said, you will be one of them.
I'm your ideal woman.
Yes.
How old do you think I am?
You?
Yeah,
Okay, you're 38.
pretty close.
How old are you?
I'm 42.
I'm 43.
How'd you know? We were meant to be.
Yes, just a guess.
Yeah.
A wild guess.
Do you go on dating apps?
Not really.
Where do you meet people?
In the street and wherever I go out, there's opportunities out there, but women, they really put you to the test. You know, they want to make sure you're reliable.
What about like body count? How many partners is too many?
Well, if you're in a relationship, I think two is one too many.
How many partners should a woman have had before you?
There's women that like to go around, and I'd rather stay away from people like that.
Oh, women that like to go
Because
around.
If you find that somebody that makes you feel happy, I think it's something that you gotta protect. You know.
I agree. You got to
Not
protect
easy.
it.
Yeah.
Protect the love.
Yes.
And they keep saying that men can't communicate effectively. We keep on saying to the contrary.
My comment section is full of delusional men that feel like if two people have been married for, let's say, a decade, and the wife leaves, and the wife takes half when she leaves, that somehow she has stolen from the man. Now, I don't care who's made that money. Either way, there was a 10-year investment from both sides. When the women leave and we take half, we're not stealing from you. We're taking half of what we earned in the marriage. And I don't think there is any argument that's going to change my mind on that. So you men in my comment section, y'all have gone crazy.
Dude in the comments said, yeah, the brand new car sitting out in the driveway, the house, and every decent working piece of furniture goes to the woman. And if you have children, that's where it gets real fair. Because now she's eligible for alimony, child support, and part of our pensions. How does that work? How do you calculate that? You deserve your hand in my pocket from my retired future? You didn't want to be with me. Why should you get any of my money from my elderly age? It doesn't make any sense. Period.
I started dating where I am celebrated, and you know what that got me? A white husband who got a cosmetology head in the mail today. He told me that when he said his vows, in the vows, it said in sickness and in health, which meant that if I am sick or incapacitated, that he should be able to do my hair. Now, this man has curls himself, but white people curls and my 4C coils are very different. Now, that doesn't mean that my hair is difficult to style. It just means it requires a different set of skills and tools, which is why he got this, so that he could learn. I am obviously a plus size, dark skinned black woman who is hyper feminine, and I am autistic. And in my experience in dating, most guys who look like me, who are black, did not date women like me. They just don't. And if they do, they're usually outside of their race. So over the years, especially once I met my husband when we were first dating, I got a lot of critiques. But you know what I decided? I said, who cares? I finally got exactly what I knew I deserved. So if you look like me, ignore the haters, ignore the naysayers, and go date where you're celebrated. Well,
Congratulations, I wish you the best. But I'm sure passport bros want to hear the same type of support. A dude in the comments said, let me set up my camera and wait for someone to make me feel uncomfortable.
Why do y'all give us a hard time about wanting to be taken care of? Like, we want to keep our money, we want someone to spoil us. We want someone to pay all of our bills. What's so wrong with that? Now, I can understand a woman who don't have anything to her name, not even a dollar, that don't bring any type of value to your life. I can understand on that. But I'm saying like a woman who know how to work, a good work ethic, they have money in a bank account, that actually can add value to your life. Like, I want to sit back and look cute. I want someone to take care of me.
It becomes more apparent every day from watching people on this app that there are a lot of women who truly think that men aren't humans in the same way that they are. Because that's not even a question that a person with a brain who believes that men are two humans would ask. They would never ask that question. If a man went to this woman and was like, hey, why can't you just take care of me? I'm ambitious. I make money. I got money in the bank. Why can't I just be taken care of? She would be like, what? She'll probably say something like, who's going to be the girl? Because they think that we are such men that we want to pay their bills, even though they have the money to pay it themselves. There are women who truly exist. Anytime this comes up, they'll say, my man liked paying bills. If your man liked paying bills, before he met you, would have been walking up to random women in Walmart like, let me just pay your T-Mobile bill, please. I get off when I pay that bill. He doesn't like paying bills. He likes the access that it gives him to you. Nobody likes paying bills. Nobody pays the bills and busts a nut. Nobody does that. He likes what paying bills gets him from you. Okay, stupid. The reason why men give you a hard time for talking like that is because it don't make no damn sense. Why can't you just pay all my bills? Like, I work, I got money in the bank. Like, why can't you just do it? Your development stopped somewhere. Like, I could tell Hard Holt had to be like 7th grade. Like, it just full stopped. You didn't go no further.
Okay, so if it's that simple, then a man should be able to say, okay, let me carry the load for 10 years. The next 10 years is on you. And I don't want to hear no arguing, complaining, crying, and moaning. I don't want to hear no talk about divorce.
Not this man literally telling me that in order for him to take me out on a date, he has to be the only one I'm talking to. Bro, I've never met you in real life before. You wanted me. You asked for my number. I'm actively like open and like going on dates with guys and talking to them. But for you, someone that I've never met before, telling me that if I'm going to spend time and money, which is okay, it's fine. I understand that. If I'm going to spend time and money on you and bring you on a date, I'm going to ask that I'm the only one you're talking to. I don't know you. You want me to just drop everything, delete the apps because we matched and you want to take me out on a date? I'm sorry, 2025, that's not how it is anymore. It was like that a long time ago, but I'm keeping my options open. And if you're going to be like that, obviously it's a no for me.
Well, call me the red flag then, because I'm not going to be out here spending my money, my time and my money on somebody that's talking to a bunch of other dudes. Absolutely not. Some dudes in the comments calling it controlling. I guess that's going to be me. Some dudes in the comments calling it possessive. I guess that's going to be me. A guy said he went about it the wrong way. He should have at least gone on the first date to figure out if he even has interest. Okay, we're down 150. Okay, let's say we're down to 70. Fine, easy. And he says, okay, let's go on a few more to establish some understanding of who I am and who you are. 70 times 4 is 280. Without no commitment. I've already spent $280. No commitment? Is that correct? Then before we're intimate or we develop feelings, we have a discussion about how to be exclusive. It's definitely not as simple as he made it. The guy is definitely socially a hermit. Absolutely not. You can call me whatever you're going to call me, but we're not going to be doing this. But of course, I'd have been on the phone with you. I would have had a FaceTime with you before I even stepped out the house. Because we're not doing this. I'm not wasting my money. Absolutely not. Red flag. I guess it's going to be me today.
What about the men who build the bridges and build the roads and everything that you use? Did you build it? I'm asking you. Did you build it?
She's almost there. Okay, so we can't take credit for the bridges and roads that the other men have built, but somehow we have to take credit for building the system? Like, I never want to hear who built that system's comment again unless I can take credit for other men's accomplishments. And I'm not gonna lie, I will willingly take credit for building the patriarchy like hand by hand, right? Brick by brick. If I can take credit for LeBron's entire career. Okay, I scored 40,000 points. I am Josiah Wedgwood, inventor of the buy one, get one free. Seriously, look it up. Give me Will Smith's Oscar. I will take credit for the slap and everything. And it's so funny. It's like, do we see how like when you let someone talk enough, they'll show how ridiculous their logic is? Like if you use their logic in a way that benefits you and they're like, oh, no, That shows that their logic was never good to begin with. Because the nature of all logic to begin with is there's always going to be its drawbacks and its benefits to either party involved. But when people can accept that, that's when it shows that they actually don't know what they're talking about.
If a man's got to walk about here, even if he ain't building a bridge or whatever it is, the man for you has to build a structure that you feel comfortable with, or you won't date him. So if the man absolutely goes through and builds the structure, maybe he doesn't build the house physically, but he says, you would like this house. It's going to be enough space for you to go and do whatever you want, have your room set up for painting or tea, or maybe you do content creation. It's right there for you. I can set it up for you. Oh, I would like this. I would like that. We go shopping. It's going to be on my dime. I buy this stuff. And then some things I have to set up for you, like the heavy stuff. I have to either hire somebody to help me with it, or I have to bring it up myself while you put little things here and there. The majority of the strength and the work is going to be on me. The furniture in the house, all of the appliances and the tools that you can't handle or you don't want to handle, all of the hanging up pictures and things of that nature that you don't want to handle, that you don't want to hang up, it falls on me. So I don't want to hear none of this nonsense about stupidity. Oh, well, did you build the house? Woman, lady, I built the structure for you. I built the structure for you. Please say thank you. Go in your room and enjoy the structure that I built for you.
I can't seem to understand the women that want to go find like the roughest, most ghetto ratchet from the hood they can find, okay? And then you take this man to places that are like walks in the park and things that are very aesthetically pleasing, knowing that doesn't fit his aesthetic. Like, and then you get mad like, oh, people are staring at us and they're racist and they're this and they're that. No, they're not. You have a drug dealer in their establishment. Get him out of here. This is not where he belongs. What are we talking about?
A woman in the comments said, I took a man on a hike once and he told me he's not a hiker. He's a shooter. That man never, ever heard from me again. never heard from me again. Good day, sir. What are y'all doing out here?
You're too picky. You are too picky and you have unrealistic expectations.
Well, that goes hand in hand with what we just talked about. Yeah, the endless list of requirements and criteria, the unreasonable expectations, which are killer expectations and assumptions, those will just forget it. You'll just be perpetually disappointed if you continue to have these fantasies of the perfection. It does not exist. Perfect people don't exist. You're not perfect. And isn't that good? Isn't that a good thing that you're not? And that's my next blog post, by the way. Isn't it? You're not perfect. And isn't that a good thing?
So I just finished handwriting notes for all 114 of the guests that are at our wedding, which is in a few days. And I obviously used the Google Doc where I wrote things beforehand just so I could copy them by hand afterwards. And some of them I wrote, some of them my husband wrote. I wrote really sweet things about people being great friends, great memories we've had together. But I think I should read one that my husband wrote. Cyrus, you absolute sack of give me my money. I truly can't believe you had the audacity to show up here without my doubloons. You thought you could flee to Africa and bike your way out of this debt? Nice try, buddy. No matter how far you ride, I'll be there in your rearview mirror. Do bikes have rearview mirrors? Also, I love you and we're happy that you're here to celebrate with us.
I don't see any issues here. Great job.
99.9% of the women that I have come across and had conversations with, they seem like they hate men. Like at their core, they seem bitter and angry and like they hate men. But the deeper the conversation, the more the realization that they don't actually hate men. They hate that every single man that they have loved and trusted has traumatized the hell out of them. They don't want to hate men, but they have no other experience besides that with men. They want to love men. They want to be loved by men and they want to love men, but they are scared to death because of all of the trauma they have experienced when they've given their hearts to a man. And that's not something I hear a lot about here on social media. And it's definitely not something I think that we're even ready to fully talk about and admit.
And that's totally the man's fault. Even if a man takes 70% of the blame, I'll take 90% of the blame. Are you going to take 10%? A lot of these women don't want to even take 10%. They don't even want to take 5% of the blame. And the 5% that they're forced to take, they minimize it. And then their friend group lets them out of the 5% and say, oh no, that's 100% on him. He's a red flag. He's controlling, manipulative. He's this, he's that. So y'all go around thinking y'all's God's gift to the earth. And y'all just as bad as he was.
Let me say this, because I've been seeing a lot of videos of women talking about dating down. Let me give my opinion. This is just my opinion on it. You don't have to agree with it, but I'm going to state it anyway. Just because you have master's degrees or bachelor's degrees or 1,500 degrees, it doesn't mean that you're dating down if you date a man who doesn't have a degree. I think it's so ridiculous that we have so many women in this society who really think that they're dating down because a man does not equal them in their educational level or their financial level. It takes more than just finances, for a person to qualify to be a good person. Your money doesn't make you great. I don't know why. I don't know where modern women have gotten this from. They think that because I got a PhD and I couldn't date a dude who made $50,000 a year. Well, you just prepare to be single then. Prepare to be by yourself and enjoy your degrees in your life then. By yourself, go on your trips, you pay for them, you have a good time with your life. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think women have gotten it misconstrued. Women really believe that because they're making the money, they need a man to match them and level up to them in that way. But you're looking over all of the qualities that are necessary for a good man. The man that will marry you and love you, protect you, provide for you, because provisions from a man is more than just financial. And a lot of these women who have all these degrees still don't make a whole lot of money. You're still struggling yourself because you have poor money management skills. You don't know how to budget. You're just spending because you make it and you feel, that you're entitled to spend your money because you work hard for it. But you want a man to come in and pay for all the bills and pay for everything. You don't want to contribute your finances to the household. You want a man to pay everything. You don't want to do 50-50. You don't want to split anything. You want a man to come in and pay for everything because you feel you deserve that because you worked hard. Well, what does he deserve? Because he worked hard too. And to be quite honest, the man who meets your financial requirements probably don't even want you. This is the dilemma that these women are running into. The men that they believe qualifies for them don't want them. So in actuality, you don't even qualify for the type of men that you really want. And the man that would be interested in you, that would want to be with you, he doesn't qualify in your standards, in your eyes, because he doesn't make enough money. It could be a good man, be everything that you need him to be, but y'all don't know how to work with a man. You don't know how to bring anything to the table. In fact, you're mortified by a man even asking you what you bring to the table. All y'all think is BBLs and TNA and over self is something that a man should be happy and proud to pursue. When in actuality, a lot of these modern women don't bring much to the table. Y'all don't bring much to the table, but your own perceived worth. And then when a man asks you questions, okay, well, who are you? What can you offer to a relationship? You're standing there looking like I am the table, and that's not good enough. And I think this is why a lot of educated women are having a problem, because they went to school and they worked hard and they got a business or whatever. They think that they're better than most men. But if you really want to be real, you're really not. You're just a person who worked hard and you've accomplished some things in your life. And I think that is great. Let me reiterate that. I think that is great, but that is not what turned men on. That is not even the men that you believe that you qualify for. That don't turn them on either. They're still out here telling you left and right. They don't want an independent boss with an attitude and a woman who's entitled. They don't even want you. But it's very clear. We already see that happening. These so-called high value men that these women will respect because they make more money. You realize they're not even checking for you. They're not even checking for you. They want something more simpler because money And degrees is not what men look for. The things that women value in a man is not the things that men value in a woman. The things that men value in a woman are the very things that a lot of these modern women don't want to do. Because they're stuck on this boss mentality, like, I got to get to the bag, I got to be this, I got to be that. And then when you out here looking for a man, you realize no man don't want you. Because those are not the qualities that men are attracted to. This is why you'll find a man who has a lot of means. He'll date a woman at McDonald's. If she's fine and she look good and she's fit and she's nice and he's attracted to her, he has no problem dating down, is what y'all would call it. Oh, men have never had a problem with dating down because they don't consider it dating down if the woman has the qualities that he wants. It's not dating down if the person has the qualities that you want. Now, if your qualities is just financial and that's what you want, then that's why a lot of women are having a hard time getting a man, getting a husband, because you're looking for the wrong things. And this has changed because women are making the money now. Women feel entitled and they feel like they need the best of the best. But what is the best? The best for you is not the best for the next person. So you got to remember, and I think women forget this, that men are the ones who pick the women they want for marriage and relationships. If you don't have what he wants, then he's not going to want you. I don't care how educated you are, how many degrees you have, how special you think you are. If the man that you want don't want you, then guess what? You don't get him. So what do women do? So if y'all could call it dating down, I don't call it dating down. I call it being sensible and logical to understand the most important things that you should have in a relationship. And it's not just money. Money is necessary. We need money. But if you're working, you're a boss, he working, y'all put y'all resources together, then y'all can win together. It's not about who make more, who make less. You put it together and y'all both doing well. If the person has the qualities that are suitable for stable, solid, long-term relationships, that's what you should be looking for, not the dollar amount of what a person is making. That shouldn't determine the worth of the person. And that is how a lot of women are messing up. So yeah, this whole dating down and, oh, he got to have the money that I make, this is ruining a lot of potential relationships because these women aren't looking at things that matter. So y'all got to change that, because if you really want something, you got to change that. That's all I'm saying.
There's a difference between men and women that I do not think a lot of people know. And I know I didn't. When I was married, we used to kind of spat about this. And if we had been able to put a name to this, I think things probably would have looked a lot differently for us. But men and women run on different cycles. So first I'm going to explain that, and then I'm going to tell you why this is so important to understand. But men are on a 24-hour cycle. So they're on a circadian rhythm, and every morning they wake up with their testosterone high, and it slowly lowers throughout the day. And then that happens again the next day, the next day, the next day. So that's why men thrive most of the time really well on routine. Whereas women are on a 28-day cycle, and they go through 4 phases in that cycle. We know it's the menstrual, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal. And so women change a lot throughout the month, and that's why they don't always thrive the best on consistency and routine. They are better off listening to their body intuitively based on how they're feeling that day. And so this can bring a difference in the relationship, because men are used to this routine and they're okay with showing up almost the same way every day unless they're exhausted or lost sleep or whatever it might be. Whereas women are constantly changing. And I am not telling you that this is a loophole for women, because I know that sometimes it is used that way. What I'm saying is that there is a deep need to understand this about each other so that you can clearly communicate your needs, your boundaries, your desires during the month. And so it might be a little bit easier for a man to come to his own conclusions because again, he's a little bit more consistent, a little bit more routine. Whereas a woman should understand her cycle so that she can better explain this to him, so that they can get on a good routine of, oh, okay, she's in her luteal phase. Maybe we won't be going to the gym, the grocery store, this, that, the other thing today like we would if she was in her follicular phase or her ovulatory phase. Trust me, these changes, they matter, and the better that you can communicate them and get on this level ground together in understanding, in knowledge, the better off you'll be.
I'm glad you said this. because this is also going into the structure of what a man provides. I think another clip in this compilation talked about, oh, well, you didn't build the house, did you? Then how are you providing the structure? This is another part of structure. If a man is always consistent, he's always doing the same thing, he's got a schedule, he's got a routine, you can count on it. That enables you as the woman to be able, okay, so I have a little bit of leeway to do this or to go here or to feel like this, because he's going to be the same. He was the same yesterday, he's the same today, he's going to be the same tomorrow. I can predict what he's got going on because he never changes. Rarely does he ever. Here and there, he'll go out and do this or he'll go out and do that. But for the most part, I can count on him. That lets me know when he's working, he's probably going to go to work tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And barring any type of issue that might happen, he's going to be working. So if I don't feel good that day, hey, I ain't going to be able to make it. Or if I ain't feeling good that week, can I take some more sick days? I ain't going to be able to make it. That's the structure that he's laid. The foundation that a lot of women put on men, but they never ever actually acknowledge what they're doing. But a man don't do nothing around the house. It's domestic labor. See, when y'all are feeling good and y'all are kicking butt and you're boss babes, then, oh, he ain't doing enough of the work. Oh, he ain't doing enough. He ain't doing as much as I'm doing. That man consistently shows up every single day. He's doing his work little bit by little bit over time. Over time. And because you think that you're throwing punches and bunches like a boxing match. Oh, boom, 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 boom. I should win because I didn't you see me? I threw a bunch of punches. Did you see that? Did you actually land any? Did you actually score? Did you actually inflict pain on somebody? Oh, well, that shouldn't matter because it was a bunch of activity that I was doing. That man, since the first round, been throwing a jab. And now you got a little red mark on your face. Been throwing a jab. Round 2, round 3, round 4. By about round 6, 7, now you got that blood sprinkling out. Now it's used to be, oh man, it's a little trickle. I wipe my nose. Now it's coming out. It's all down your face. At the top of your eye, looking terrible. It's because I've been putting the work in consistently, hitting you with that jab, peppering you with that jab. Bow, bow, bow. And then when you're tired of that, you reach up, I hit you with that body shot. Oh man, that was his power, strength. Might have been my power, my strength, but it was because I put the work in consistently over time. And when the time was right, I took the opportunity for the knockout. But y'all think, well, you get it.
I used to be boy crazy, and sometimes I'll tell people this and they're like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, me too. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I was actually boy crazy. I've only ever had 2 boyfriends in my entire life, and they were 3 years apart. Every other dude in between never dated me, did not really want me for real. But the crazy shit I would do because of these men is actually horrifying. Like, I have slept outside of someone's home just to make sure that their work schedule is actually the schedule that they told me.
And of course, somebody in the comments said, well, that's actually not too crazy. It is crazy. What's up with that? You should have a restraining order at this point in time.
Why is it always the young married Christian women who were single for 2.5 seconds trying to tell the single women who have been waiting for 11 years to just focus on what God is calling them to do and enjoy their waiting season, even though we are already doing that and more, but are discouraged from having a desire to be a wife and a mom as if it is a bad thing? Like, please stop giving advice that you never had to live. Who said that?
Fair point. But maybe they might say something that helps you to go back and reevaluate why you're actually single. Like, maybe I don't need this. Maybe my standards are too high. Maybe God sent me a man, but I didn't think he was good enough. He didn't pass my vibe check, so he's out there floating in the wind.
I don't know why y'all making this body count shit such a big deal. I could tell a man I got 2,000 bodies. He's still gonna want to be 2,001. So let's be real. I could say 1 million. A nigga still gonna want to be 1,000,001. What are we talking about?
Maybe she's not truly understanding the context in which they would want to do that.
The only man that I'll cook for at 12 a.m. because he said he was hungry and I got out of bed to make him a sandwich and I'm hand feeding him is my son. You got me there.
You got me there.
And when a man is supposed to drive to the ends of the earth to make sure that you're safe, drive to the ends of the earth, not even talking about safety, to make sure that you have what you want, to get you that rare flower or that rare dinner or whatever it is, that piece of jewelry or furniture that you want, that you've been looking at for years and years and years. He's supposed to do that. But you can't even get up out of your bed in the comfort of your own home, turn on a show on Netflix, and cook him a 30-minute meal. He's not worth the time.
I was supposed to go on a date tonight, but I think it's pretty safe to say I have been ghosted. Love that for myself. So I had been talking to this guy for the past week and a half or so, and my biggest thing is I will not meet you in person until we have established a good form of communication, right? So we have been texting pretty regularly for the past week and a half or so. We talked on the phone, everything was good. It's good conversation, good banter. He's sarcastic like me, so I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for this. This is gonna be good. So we talked on Tuesday, and he said, how about we try to get together this week? What about Thursday? I said, yep, that works. What do you have in mind? Do you want to get drinks? We can go to the beer garden, get dinner. Like, what do you want to do? He said, how about we get some drinks? I said, cool, there's this place by me. How about we meet there at 6:30? He said, sounds good. I make a reservation just because I want to be sure that we have somewhere to sit, you know? So I texted him the address. I said, we're all set for this Thursday at 6:30. Just let me know if something comes up. He said, sounds good. We continue to text the rest of Tuesday like we had been doing normally. Yesterday morning rolls around and I text him at about 8:30 and I said, hey, how was volleyball? Because he does volleyball on Tuesday nights. And usually he responds within like 10 or 15 minutes of a message. I don't hear from him. So I'm like, all right, you know, whatever. He's probably busy. I'm not stressing it. I don't hear from him at all yesterday. No message whatsoever. So I'm like, yeah, that can't be a good sign. But I texted him last night before I went to sleep and I said, hey, just wanted to say goodnight. Still nothing. No response. So I'm like, yep. I see where this is going. I see where this is going. I texted him this morning and I said, hey, are we still on for tonight? Let me know by 4, because if not, I'm gonna go ahead and take it as a no. It's now about 6 o'clock and I have not heard from him. So I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here and say that it's a no. But yeah, it's just really frustrating when that kind of stuff happens, because I honestly don't know where things went wrong. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I was looking forward to it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to just say, nah, suck it up and move on. But yeah, I'm gonna do some laundry tonight instead, so yay.
They're saying in the comments maybe he found somebody else that he wanted to talk to that he liked. And I think that he could have probably communicated that to you, to be fair. But once again, a lot of men go through this to where they don't even get a response. They be sitting in there and women be bragging about it, about leaving a man in their DMs for years and years and years. And then once they get bored, then they reach out to him and say, hey, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give you a shot. And then they're surprised by when the man doesn't really pay them the attention that they thought they were going to get from him. And he just ghosts them. He just leave him alone.